up, YouTube? This is one way out here in San Jose. So what's up with everybody? How's everybody doing on this Saturday afternoon? I always be out and about. One way you don't be just sitting at home, one way be out. Especially on the weekends. Yeah, I hope everybody out there is keeping a positive mind and ignoring the bullshit. There's a lot of bullshit going out there to get you caught up. Just don't get caught up in that bullshit, be the better person. And remember who you are. Even though you see a lot of shit going on, just don't fall into it. Sometimes I be falling into it, and I gotta catch myself, look at myself and see what I'm actually doing. Check myself, you know what I'm saying? Can't be falling into no weirdo shit. Whether you're on YouTube or out in the real world, you gotta know how to handle yourself and how to carry yourself, and see who you associate yourself around. And me, I've never been the type to associate myself with a bunch of clowns and gossipy people and just people like to talk shit, and that's just how I've always been. That's why, when I see Charles, like for example, Charleston White, when I started to see him blow up and all that shit, I had a lot of beefs with him back in the days because, he was always talking with the bullshit, talking about dead people, and he was racist and all that shit, and I still stand what I stand. I still think that guy's a clown, and I know a lot of people out here, they respect him and shit. It's all good. And you'll even see on their channels, they're out there supporting him. That's just what I realized out here in the real world, and on YouTube. There's a lot of people out there that are like lost, that will follow any sucker out here that they believe is the one. You know what I'm saying? Even though they prove to be out here on some weird shit, people will support it just because, I don't know, maybe they just ain't got no life, or they just weren't raised right, or they got nothing in them point them in the right direction, so they just follow any clown out here. You know what I'm saying? I was never a part of that shit. I never supported that shit. I always had problems. First day I seen Charleston White and heard him talk, I had issues with him and shit. And I know a lot of you out here, you guys like to talk all that shit, but at the same time, I see you guys supporting them and shit. Like, I can go on people's channels right now and they got interviews with them and shit. They're out here talking about, people, just the dead people. Those people are the worst people. Well, then why do you got those people on your channel? Why are you promoting those people? Why are you so proud that you did an interview with this type of person? If you're saying that those type of people ain't good, and those people right there are cursed and all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's just weird how reality plays out, and you see everything for what it is if you just peep game. You know what I'm saying? I've never been that type to just sit in the room and be that person in the room and be dumb. I've always been able to sit back and peep what's going on in the whole room and shit. You know what I'm trying to say? Don't be out here lost and confused. Make sure you really know what you're doing. Make sure when you play that video back in the corner of the wall that's watching everything, that you're true to what it's showing and what it presents, and you're not out here trying to twist shit out and be proved to be a liar or none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you can stand up to what is real. You know what I'm talking about? If you're a real person out here, you talk about how you're real, then reality is being real, not being on some fucking lying shit. I see a lot of people out here, it's just, I don't know, everybody wants to be a YouTuber and they'll do whatever. They'll fucking pull down their skirts, they'll fucking, you know what I'm saying? They'll wear a dress, they'll do whatever to promote their channel and blow their channel up. They don't care about nothing, no principles, nothing. They don't stand on nothing. It's just all about, well, I just want to be a YouTuber, and they'll do whatever it fucking takes. Diss their friends, diss their family members, change, fucking switch up on everybody, and it's all for the come up. It's all for the fake shit. It's like when your homie becomes a police and shit, and fucking goes and rats on all the shit in the hood, and comes up from all the shit that he was a part of, and thinks that he's somebody now and shit because he's in that position where he knew things going on, and now he's able to speak that shit, and he thinks, oh, now I'm somebody now because look at, fuck all those people that were in my past and shit. Look at, I'm over here in this circle now, and look at me now, everybody. You know, those are the people out here that are just frauds. You know what I'm saying? You can't trust a person like that. A person that just, like I said, your homie becomes a police and shit. Next thing you know, you got a raid at your fucking house. All your homies are getting raided. Everybody you grew up with are getting fucking locked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? You start to see the fucking shit going on, and it's all about these two-faced suckers out here that are just about self. So we watch these people out here that are talking about, I want to blow my YouTube channel, and I'm going all the way with it, man. I'm leaving you guys. Yeah, those are the guys that'll fucking do anything. Like I said, wear a dress, call the police. They'll do anything to protect what they're doing and shit, which is bitch shit, the way I look at it. I mean, I ain't gonna say everybody's a bitch, because there's some real folks out here on YouTube that I fuck with that speak real shit. But most of the people out here, really, they're on some fake fraud CB4 shit that I've noticed. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't hating on nothing, and I ain't hating on nobody who wants to be an actor, but just know that there's people out here that see what's up. You can fool the fools and shit, but you ain't gonna fool the people out here that really see what's going on. And that's just keeping it real. You know, I've seen a lot of people out here switch up, fucking switch up. They say one thing, you give them the opportunity, and they'll just be, it's just all show, it's all fraud shit, amp shit. You'll see a person who has never acted a certain way, who gets opportunity because they're around a certain person. You'll see the biggest smile and the most energy you've ever seen in them appear out of nowhere. I mean, I'm talking about grown men that are in their 40s and 30s and 50s. They get around certain people, and let's say they get into a certain live, and man, they get so excited like a little kid, and you could just see them. They get so proud, like they're somebody now finally in life. 30 years old, 40 years old. They're finally like being seen. Like, I guess these people in their life have never been noticed, and they're just so happy if they can be like if Charleston White lets them be in their life. Man, these people will forever cherish that moment, and they don't care about nothing else in life other than that moment that they had with Charleston White, the 5-minute moment. Charleston White don't even give a fuck about your ass and shit. That 5 minute that you had with him, man, that's like, you idolize that shit, and that shit becomes your greatest memory. To a lot of these people out here in life, these suckers out here, and Charleston White, you know, there's things, you know, I ain't with the bullshit, but the sucker shit, he sees the sucker shit just like I see the sucker shit, and he plays all you guys like suckers and shit. He knows all you guys are suckers out here lost, and he plays all you guys and shit. You guys just don't see it and shit. He sits there and laughs at you guys, makes fun of you guys, you know, belittles you, talks about everybody, and everybody's still fucking right by his side, and that's their big homie. That's their big homie out here on the YouTube streets. Out here in the YouTube streets, CW, you know, that's their big homie. Everybody, he can talk shit, he can do whatever to them, and still they're gonna fucking support him. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna give a reason why. Even they can talk. He can talk shit about their dead folks, and he could clown them, and as long as, you know, Charleston White says, "Hey man, come, and I'm gonna do a little 1 minute interview," they'll deny everything and just be so happy that Charleston White wants to fuck with them for 1 minute, and they don't care, even though he fucking talks shit about their family members and everything. That's how much of the sucker these people are out here in the world. They'll go and just, they have no, like, I'm thinking people have no soul and are lost. I'm starting to see, you know, I don't want to sound like I'm a hater because I'm pointing out what I'm seeing, but at the same time, shit, it's just like, it's weird. It's like I'm in a twilight zone. It's like I think I'm dealing with grown men and OGs and shit, and it's like time and time again they just keep showing me some weird shit. Like, I don't know, man. It's hard to explain, and I know people out here. I ain't the only one out here seeing it. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't that smart, so if I'm seeing it, imagine people out here that, you know, got a better head on their shoulders, seeing the same shit and are wondering what's going on. It's like our government, the war in Ukraine, everything that's going around. It's like, is God like putting me through this test of all this weird shit going on? You know, people want to talk about this and that and the flood and how they say the world was good when the flood. Nah, God flooded the shit out because everybody was turning gay and doing weird shit and not being true to themselves and being frauds, and that's what happened. That's why God flushed everything out. People started being like no one was being real no more and shit. No one was being of their word. Nobody stood on nothing. Everybody was just on some weirdo shit. And that's why God was like, man, I created this. And so he tapped in, like, you know, he tapped in with Noah. Noah had a good head on his shoulder. Tapped in with him. He trusted Noah. And then here we are today. You know, people want to talk about this and that, but they ain't even talking about real history. The whole separation of Pangea and all the real history of our roots and everything like that. People want to talk about what Russia discovered and this and that and shit. You don't think there's been discoveries that go deeper than that are hidden? I mean, people out here, they just want so much to, like, for example, like, there could be some weirdo out here that finds a fucking thing on the hill with the face that looks like one way, and he'll promote it and say like it's Jesus, and here's one way on here talking and really acting like, oh no, this is the real Jesus, everybody, you know, they've been hiding it, you know, like this is how people think out here in the world and shit. Whatever fits their agenda, they're gonna ride with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Just like Hitler, just like everybody has their own agenda, and they're finna ride with that shit, and everything is gonna align with that agenda, even if it ain't even true. They're gonna fucking lie to make sure it's true. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, you could say, ants created this whole little habitat in this little spot in the jungle. But then when you go there and you see that there's other insects, you're gonna deny the other insects. You're gonna say, oh no, it was the ants. It was only the ants. It was only the red fire ants, the army ants that created this, and you're gonna deny all the other ants and all the other insects and all the other habitat that's out there in nature, because you want to say that the ants, you want to say the killer ants and the army ants, these are the ones that started the future. You know what I'm saying? When in reality, that's not how it was. God didn't just create an ant. You know what I'm saying? God created multiple fucking species. To all say that we came from one thing is ridiculous. An ant, a bug, a man who is green, purple, yellow, brown. It's ridiculous to say that we all came from one. A fucking dog, a monkey, a gorilla, a lizard. There's all types of things out here that are it's kind of like aliens. If you look at shit, we can be considered an alien. But because we say, oh, we're a human, we want so deeply to be in line to with the bullshit that we ride. Like I said, if I found a picture up there that one way up in the hill, I'm gonna say the whole world came off of that. When in reality of it is, ain't nobody know shit. Because until y'all tell me about the Egyptians and the pyramids and everything like that, how y'all gonna tell me about who the first man was and all this shit like that? You know what I'm talking about? We don't know nothing about nothing. It's all hearsay, and it's whatever people want to say. Until I see facts, and that's how I've always been. I ain't with the hearsay, and I ain't with the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I do believe something created everything, otherwise we wouldn't be here. And I do believe there's a higher power, because obviously people have tapped into that shit. Otherwise we wouldn't have no computers. We wouldn't have the shit we have today if people didn't tap into a fucking higher power. Let's keep it real. I mean, we didn't go from fucking being caveman to all of a sudden being fucking computer techs. You know what I'm saying? That shit just didn't come out of our brain. That shit was actually tapped into, and whatever was tapped into is obviously a higher power, whether it be alien, whether it be God, whether it be anything. Obviously there is a higher power, and to deny that is just ignorant, because I've seen it at play, and I've seen things that are still unexplainable to this day. With all the people out here that want to act like they know everything and all this shit, why can't no one explain the UFO and shit that I see all the time? You know what I'm talking about? And that's just being real. When you're a real person out here in the real world and you're actually seeing real things and a part of real shit, you can't deny it. And there's no denying it. And no matter what other people want to say, and no matter what other people want to do, if you're being real and you're being true to what you're about and who you are, that there's no way around there. Like, people can say whatever they want to say. People can do whatever they want to say. But reality is what it is. Like right now, you see the blue sky. But there'll be a lot of people out here that'll really fucking play you and say the sky ain't blue and shit. They want you to believe that the sky's fucking, green. And that's the way people play out here. I see the sky is blue. If I know the sky is blue, I'm gonna believe my word. I'm I'm not gonna believe someone else that tells me, no, the sky's green. You're wrong. And then get me fucked up in my head thinking, fuck, am I wrong? And get me all scrambled in my head thinking about shit that I already know. You know what I'm saying? That's how these people out here run game. That's how people out here can easily get fucking what do you call it? Can easily be not hypnotized, but easily be persuaded into a certain way and to believe in anything. You know what I'm saying?